Yo! Filters for when you can't be fucked to put on makeup. Good morning. Such a revolting sound. Hey, Lindy. Hey, Vamp. Hey, my cosmic bride. Just going to wait and see if anyone jumps on, and then we're going to do a little bit of tapping around something quite specific that I've been journeying recently and that I've really seen play out in a very positive way with my latest offering that started a couple of days ago. Cha-ching! 10 days of wealth resonance clearing. I've seen this play out for me, and it's been a really beautiful experience. And the great thing about this is it felt so fucking easy. Worth it. Love you. And you can always come back and watch later. I think you'll enjoy this one, Vamparoonie. So yeah, this is something that I used to say there's such an irony and like a contradiction really around this idea of ease, because what I call it is like the hard work of ease. Because one of the hardest things about letting life be easy is actually letting it be easy. And a lot of us ask for situations like, oh, I just really wish that, I remember saying to a coach last year, an intimacy coach I was working with, I said, I just want to be met by life. That's what I kept saying to her. Like, I want to feel like I'm being met by life. And as a manifesting generator, I respond. So the universe sends things to me and I respond to them. And I'm very good at initiating it, making things happen, doing things. I always have been. And I think a lot of us are. And I'm not demonizing or saying that that is wrong. It's just that personally, I reached a point where doing that all the time and being the initiator of everything in my life started to feel like I was pushing so hard and trying so hard and using so much of my drive to kind of make things happen, or like fully create things for myself, but not just like in a beautiful co-creation with the universe kind of way. Like, oh, I want this thing, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to make it happen. And yeah, that's fine to go out and make things happen, is absolutely fucking cool and necessary. It's a part of the journey. And when you feel that you're burnt out, or you're it's hard for you to kind of get the energy behind doing something, even though it's what you want to do, or it feels really good when you think about the outcome that will that you'll receive as a result of doing the doing, there's something in you that just can't quite generate the energy to actually do the thing from a place of pleasure or enjoyment, and it starts to feel like hard work and hustle and grind, and not in a nice way. We like friction, we like traction, we like hard work sometimes. And how beautiful would it be if we could lean back a little bit more and receive without always having to generate something first? So when I was doing my journaling this morning, the thing that came through was, now that I've had what feels like such a beautiful, easeful, playful, and financial success with cha-ching, how do I recreate that? My open ajna in human design, right? This triangle here, is it this way or is it that way? I can never remember. I think it points down. This triangle here. Mine's open. And so what that means is I can see all of the ways that things could happen, and it creates a lot of questions. But these two centers here in my human design chart are open. And when they're both open, it creates a lot of questions and almost like it feels like a physical pressure to have certainty around what the next step is, or what the answer is to the question. And unfortunately, what happens is when I have a question in my head, I go, ooh, there's a question. And then that question goes, pring, and now you have 10 more questions. And each of those 10 questions goes, pring, and now you have another 10 questions. And if I I'm not really grounded and mindful about being very embodied, I will notice that I just end up with a lot of questions that turns into a lot of what feels like physical pressure to answer these questions and get certainty. And a lot of the time, what that will look like for me is, okay, so what's the next thing that I have to do? What is the next thing I can do? What is the next thing I can create in order to receive money? And particularly as a self-employed, I'm a business owner, so therefore I am the person who does the work that then generates the income in my business. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if people get to reach out to me and just ask to work with me? Because I've seen this happen many, many times when I am just out there living my life. It happened to me so many times at the beginning of this year and the end of last year that I started to just be like, what the fuck is happening? And I was talking about it a lot because I was kind of part of me was like in disbelief, and then there was this other part of me that was like, of course, when you trust and you lean back and you know that you're good at what you do, the universe will send you options. Excuse me, energy moving. It's like the universe delivers you a menu and goes, would you like this? 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 And my job as a manifesting generator is to sit there and go, ooh, I like that. Yes, I'll have that. Oh, and yes, I'll have that. And I'm not so keen on that. Oh, I like elements of this, but could you just change a few pieces and send it back? Right? So my work as a generator with a defined state quote is to respond to life and to what the universe delivers to me. So this morning when I was journaling and I realized, I'd actually like to receive in the same way I did with Cha-Ching, which was I had the idea for the offering, I let it sit in my body and make sure I was really aligned with the way I was going to deliver it and what it was going to be. And then I put it out into the world and people just started signing up for it. And it's been one of my most prolific sign-up periods that I've ever had. Since probably December last year, I've had so many people sign up for it and it's felt so easy. And I'm aware that in order for me to be okay with things feeling that easy, with money flowing in that easily, I had to do so much inner work around releasing this need to do, to people please, to overgive, to prove myself, to be very prolific in my creation in order to kind of like create almost like the honey trap, like, look, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how good I am. And then people go, oh yes, yum, yum, yum. Or like this idea that you have to give away a certain amount of free content online in order for people to come and work with you. So I started to look at all of these different beliefs that I'd gathered over my time of being in the coaching and the energy work, kind of in this industry online, and just stopped following a lot of people. And then came back to what I know to be true for myself. And I really tapped back into remembering that I have an inherent blueprint around how I desire my life and my receptivity to work. And so if I really want, and this is key, if I really want my life to be more lean back, more pleasurable, more enjoyable, more relaxed, while still receiving lots of money, lots of sales, lots of beautiful, soul-aligned clients who I just have a fucking great time with. If that's what I really want, I have to be okay with the discomfort of the not doing, the discomfort of someone who is so prolific and wanting to do all the time, but also looking at where am I actually wanting to do and where am I just running an old program of I should be doing right now in order to receive. So we're just going to do a real quick tap on this idea of receiving without actually having to continually, I call it like pimp your creativity. It can feel a little bit like that. Like I have to create something so that I can sell it. And in some cases, yes, the creation of a thing, creating a conduit through which money can flow is a really good fucking idea. And what if you're not feeling right now that you have the next big idea? Are you okay with sitting in the void of that discomfort and being like, the idea will come and there is no pushing to be done. It's just enjoy my life, become receptive, and then the idea, the inspiration will strike, and then I will have the energy to create what I need to create. And are you also okay with being in that void space and still receiving money, you know, like through a website, through maybe you have a website that sells your artwork. Maybe someone reaches out to you on Instagram and goes, oh my God, you create this amazing thing. Or like, I want to work with you one-to-one if you're a coach or a mentor, or you're an energy worker, or maybe you're an artist and someone just sees your Instagram profile and they're like, oh, I really love that piece of work. Like, I'm wondering, do you take commissions? Yeah. So are you okay with really, quote unquote, doing nothing to generate money that comes in? Because it's kind of like the dream for a lot of us, you know, like I'd love to just have consistent money flowing in and know that there is no pressure on me to like create the perfect thing and try and get in my head and try and like suss out what people want so that I can create it, because I know I can create anything because I'm magical and I'm fucking incredible at what I do. And I always want to feel really tapped in and excited by what I'm creating. So I don't want to put pressure on that. So there's this balance. So let's do a little bit of tapping to relieve that pressure and allow ourselves to just be okay with receiving, because the universe wants to give us shit. Yeah? Does that sound good? Hey Michelle, good morning. Okay, the points I use for tapping are the side of the hand, crown of the head, inner eyebrow, outer eyebrow, under the eye. Please be very gentle with this area. It's obviously very delicate skin. Underneath the nose, underneath the bottom lip. I use the collarbones. It's actually this dent here that is the official point, but you can tap anywhere in this area and it's going to work, you know. Then under the arm, kind of where, if you're wearing a bra, then that's where the bra would be. And then the wrists, and sometimes I will use the fingertips, use the top cuticle of each finger as you go through. Okay, I'm going to tap with you, so you don't need to remember that. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Let's get tapping and see what drops in. So just tapping along and repeating after me. Even though I am a prolific creator, I'm okay and I accept myself anyway. Even though I've attached my worth and parts of my identity to being a prolific creator, that's okay and I accept myself anyway. Even though I say I love to be doing and creating and moving all the time, I am also aware of a part deep inside of me that is craving rest. And that's okay, and I accept myself anyway. Connecting my worth to how much I do or create. Who even am I if I'm not constantly creating and having output? What if the scales tipped and I received more than I gave? What if I truly leaned back and allowed the universe to show me exactly what is available to me? What if I acknowledge that I'm not actually very comfortable with receiving, just receiving? What if I truly admit that there is a safety in the control of having to give in order to receive? And maybe in the past I've not had great boundaries around receiving and saying no when I don't want the thing I'm being given. And what if I am honest about the fact that sometimes in the past I've said yes to receiving something because I was running a scarcity pattern that I might not get offered anything else. This old story of, if I say no to this, what if nothing else comes? What if I have to say yes to everything that is given to me? If the universe offers something up and I say no, what if it stops trying? My nose is actually running like so much energy moving here. What then? What if it all just dries up? What if it's my yes that keeps everything flowing? And if I want the good, then I have to receive the bad as well. But what if that's also just an old bullshit story that I've picked up? And what if I remember that if I'm truly in co-creation with the universe, and if my well-being really is how I'm meant to feel, if I truly believe that I'm here to feel good and enjoy this planet and this life experience, why the fuck would the universe torture me? Why would it punish my no? I've got to remember that the universe doesn't take it personally if I don't like what it's given me. And maybe there have been experiences in the past where if I've said no or I didn't like something I was given, someone else's feelings were hurt. And maybe I was too young then to know that that isn't my fault. I don't have to receive what other people want to give me just to keep them happy. It's just another really fucked up form of people pleasing. I honor the power of my yes and the power of my no. I acknowledge, own, and understand that my no is equally as important in my receptivity as my yes is. I allow myself to be discerning about my receptivity. I'm opening the floodgates to receive. And I stand in my sovereignty around my yes and my no. When the floodgates open, I still only say yes to what I truly want. And I'm getting better at saying no real quick when it doesn't feel good. And I'm opening up to receiving more. And as I open up to receiving more, my boundaries and standards are reinforced. And I remember that I am safe. It is safe for me to receive, even when I haven't done anything. Even when I haven't spent a month actively manifesting something. I'm releasing the need to try so fucking hard all the time. I don't need to earn or prove myself. In order to receive more. Take a nice deep breath. Let me know how you got on with that. I'm just going to give my smoothie a swirl and have a little sipperoo whilst I wait for your responses. Yeah, it's so interesting. I was talking about in the wealth clearing program this morning, which you can still join. if you desire. Link is in my bio. It's called Cha-Ching. I was talking this morning about how sometimes we get so caught in trying really fucking hard to receive something, and then often we're receiving things all the time that we've just kind of flippantly, in an offhand way, been like, oh, that would be fun. And then the thing will be like, oh, I haven't spoken to that person for a while. And then, oh, they just call us or we bump into them. So just remember that you don't need to earn what you're manifesting. Sometimes it's very clear to us what needs to be done in order to get the wheels in motion around something. And it feels really good for us to be in that momentum of the doing of something, right? And that's great. And then there are other times where it's almost like, for example, if you're wanting to manifest like £1 or $1, you'd be like, that's really easy, you know, like, oh yeah, of course, like that's super easy for me to do that. And then you just find it on the floor, or, you know, someone buys something like some, you know, small offering off of your website or whatever, okay? And it's like, oh, that was really easy. And then for some reason we get like really caught up in the bigger numbers. We get caught up in the bigger things that we're manifesting. And we think that we have to, if there's no actions to take, like no obvious logical actions for us to take to create or receive the thing, we almost spend as much mental energy on it as we would physical. So for example, if you want a six-pack, you might start going to the gym more and doing more ab work and like adjust your diet slightly, right? Because we know generally those things are going to support you in the 3D around creating that for yourself. And I believe on some level that it can be done even without that, because I do believe that our minds and what we ask for is incredibly powerful. Yet we are also working against a lot of 3D programming, and also we're having a 3D experience. So why would we want to always bypass that? So I get that, you know, it's fun for us to be like in that friction and that traction, that feeling of momentum and doing, and actually like having our, what Abraham Hicks would say is like having your hands in the clay of life, right? I get that. It's part of the fun for us of being here. Otherwise we may as well just be a fucking stream of consciousness floating around in the void. You know, we're here to have this embodied physical experience. Let's enjoy it. And when we don't know what the logical steps are, so for example, when it comes to things like money, a lot of the time people can look at bigger numbers and be like, oh fuck, I don't know how I'm gonna call that in or receive that or whatever. And so the journaling starts to happen, the meditating starts to happen, the clearing happens, the tapping happens, the, you know, going like manifestation walks happen, and like everything becomes about I am consciously creating and manifesting and being in the energy. It's just like, fucking hell, you're working so hard at manifesting this thing. Does it even count as a manifestation anymore? Does it even count as something that's magical and like, whoa, when it shows up, if you've spent the last 6 months fucking staring at it, forcing it to happen? And if you have to put that much work into manifesting something, how much of your life are you missing out on living in the meantime, when if you just been a bit lighter and a bit more playful in the energy around it, the thing probably would have come so much fucking sooner anyway. So remember that being in the lightness of what you're creating, being in the playfulness, the curiosity, and just like that yumminess of like, woo, this feels like a fun thing to have. Be in the pureness of the desire rather than getting caught up in the like, okay, right now, what's the plan? And there's nothing wrong, again, nothing wrong with having a fucking plan. If the plan feels good, if it starts to feel like the more you follow the plan and the strategy and the step-by-step, you get taken away from the delicious, yummy feeling of what it felt like when you first decided you wanted the thing. If the plan takes you further from that, maybe that isn't actually the way you're meant to create the thing. Be open to the fact that the way you create the physical results in your life, in any area of your life, might contradict a lot of what you've learnt on the internet, in the books that you've read, what the doctors have said, what the experts have said. It might contradict a lot. And this is where it's so important for you to cultivate the trust in your own intuition, because you know the answers. You just need to trust yourself more, relax, and enjoy your motherfucking life. So go do something fun today. Have an amazing day. If you enjoyed this and you feel some will benefit, please do share it. I'm about to post it onto my Instagram grid, so go ahead, like, comment, share. Let's hack that algorithm and get me out there helping the people, getting this work into the hands of the people, damn it. I love you. Bye.